Now, if you thought that the stupid ways to die videos that I have done were a terrifying insight into how people have died, well, this video is going to be a real treat for you, because this one is about how people have died in the worst ways possible. There's probably one incident in this video today that probably could go on to the stupid ways to die, because it kind of was preventable on her behalf as far as I am aware. But most of these are out of the person's control. In today's video, I'll be talking about 5 people who died in the worst ways possible. Hello and welcome back, or welcome to my channel. If you don't know what's going on here, well, I'm not going to be telling you that the media is trustworthy and you should listen to everything that they say. But I am a horror artist and I like to draw what I talk about in the videos. Now, I like scary facts, true crimes, anything to do with paranormal conspiracies, any of that good sort of stuff, and I like to draw. So I like to combine all of that into these videos to hopefully bring you a unique experience. Now, just a word of warning, the illustration that I do in this video is just fucking dumb. Like, it's just, I struggled a lot with combining all of these disasters into an illustration, and it didn't matter which way I went. This illustration is just shit. Like, it's just a shit concept, and I apologize for it, but it's the only thing that I could come up with, and I just sat down and I just started drawing it, and I only realized after I'd finished it, I looked at it and went, what is this? Like, what shit show have I just delivered? I like the challenges that these bring me when I try to combine disasters or whatever I'm talking about in the video, especially if there's like a few things in the video. I like to try and combine them all. It is a challenge. It's a massive challenge, and I enjoy that. But this one just, I don't know, sort of got to me a bit, sort of stumped me. Now, if you want to support me in any way, shape or form, I do have my illustrations as prints on my Redbubble store, which is in the description below. And if you are a creative person, I do have an Etsy store where I create felt toy patterns, and I have my own designs on there, and I've also got horror movie characters on there. So you can go across there and you can have a look at the selection that I do have. I'm adding more and more and more. So yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, head across there. Links are also down in the description. Now, with that being said, let's get on with the video and let's get on with the crappy drawing. On the 3rd of November 2014, 58-year-old Gary Anderson was bringing drywall to an under-construction site of condos in New Jersey City, New Jersey. Gary got out of his car but left his hard hat in the back of the car. 50 floors up in that condo, an AJD construction worker was unclipping his tape measure from his work belt when it slipped out of his hands and fell out the side of the building down the 50 floors, which was around 500 feet or 152 meters, and would have reached speeds of 140 miles per hour or 220 kilometers per hour. Apparently, according to witnesses, the tape measure hit a metal component about 10 feet or 3 meters from the ground, ricocheted off of that, and hit Gary square in the head while he stood by his vehicle. Gary worked for George Hillbrand Inc., which was delivering the drywall to the construction site. Gary immediately fell to the ground and was rushed to Jersey City Medical Center, but he went into cardiac arrest and died from his head injury. Workers that work on these sites all the time that are under construction say that you never go onto these sites without a hard hat, because they will save your life. In June of 2016, 55-year-old Lottie Belk was celebrating her birthday and wedding anniversary at Virginia Beach when a strong wind hit the beach, and at 5 p.m. an anchored down beach umbrella came free and flew up into the air and came down, striking Lottie in the chest with the sharp pointy end. She fell to her side and allegedly went into cardiac arrest. Paramedics were called to the scene, but Lottie died at the hospital from her injury. This was apparently Lottie's favourite place to be, at the beach. Witnesses that saw the tragedy unfold say that it was the scariest thing that they had ever seen. She was at the beach with her family when the incident happened, and one of the family members ran to get help from a lifeguard, which administered first aid straight away until emergency services arrived. Lottie had stopped breathing at the time. Although umbrella incidences happen a lot at beaches, they are rarely fatal in this instance. People have been hit by them have lost an eye, but not their life, and especially not by a blunt force trauma to the chest. Lottie is survived by her 2 daughters, stepson and stepdaughter, and husband. 26-year-old David Meek was visiting Lumberton, Mississippi from Paintsville, Kentucky on the 3rd of August 2013. While on vacation, he decided to go skydiving at the Gold Coast Skydivers. David was paired in tandem to 56-year-old instructor of Gold Coast Skydivers James Horrock Jr., which was just routine for James as this was his job and he did this several times a day. David and James went up into the plane around 10:30 a.m. with some other people who were also skydiving. When it was their turn, James and David jumped out together and began their descent to the ground. James, when it was time to, opened the parachute, but something went horribly wrong and the main chute had to be cut away by James to make way for the secondary reserve parachute. The reserve parachute was deployed, but it's unclear what happened after that in the sky. The other skydivers that were diving with David and James all landed at the airport as they were supposed to, but David and James were not with them. They all realised and started their search on foot, with 30 skydivers, the skydive plane, a helicopter, and local authorities. But where David and James fell was so dense in a forested area that they could not be seen from the sky. A landowner that was nearby found them on his property by searching on his quad bike. They were found in heavy mud in a swampy area at around 3:30 p.m, still strapped together with David on top facing up and James on the bottom. David had broken bones, a head injury, and was left paralysed, but James was dead. They had hit the ground so hard that James's body left a hole in the ground 4 feet deep by 3 feet wide. David was left permanently paralysed but went on to live his life, but I can't find any more updates on him as of today. Garcia was a 46-year-old woman that was crossing by foot a Boston drawbridge at around noon in late December of 2013 when the bridge started to rise up to make way for a boat in the Chelsea River. The operator was not aware that Aura was on the bridge, as warning lights would have flashed to keep people off the bridge, so the operator just raised the bridge as normal. Aura apparently grabbed the side of the bridge and started screaming, which the operator heard and started lowering the bridge, but somehow Aura got trapped between the plates of the bridge and was crushed to death. The operator called authorities, but Aura was dead at the scene. After investigations wrapped up, the incident was cut down to a pure accident. The operator of the bridge was so distraught he had to be taken to hospital to undergo assessment for shock and was laid off without pay until the incident was fully wrapped up by the police. Aura was from East Boston and had 2 children. It was unclear if Aura had ignored the alarms and lights that warned people not to cross, with the barricades that even come down, as there is speculation that she was running late for a medical appointment on the other side of the bridge, but that is just speculation after reading some further Reddit articles. Also, the bridges apparently just don't lift up without warning. All I can say is this incident is a new fear unlocked. Kaiser Carlisle was a 9-year-old boy that was a bat boy for the amateur baseball team, the BJs of Liberal, Kansas. In late July 2015, the BJs were playing in Wichita, Kansas in the National Baseball Congress World Series when Kaiser was running to retrieve a bat and ran too close to a player swinging a bat to warm up and practice when Kaiser was struck in the head with the bat. The player swinging the bat just did not see Kaiser. Kaiser was even wearing a helmet, but he must have been hit where the helmet was not covering. An umpire went straight to the boy's aid when he fell to the ground unconscious and did first aid until paramedics arrived. There is a picture of a player, Gavin Waby, holding Kaiser, and you can see that his body is limp and was unresponsive and quickly deteriorating. Unfortunately, Kaiser died at the hospital from his head injury. The BJs all huddled together on the field to remember Kaiser. Kaiser was said to be a ray of sunshine for the team, and he died doing what he loved. Kaiser's job was to retrieve bats from the home plate and return them back to the dugout. After Kaiser was accidentally hit, the BJs decided to continue in respect of Kaiser, where they went on to win the game. The National Baseball Congress decided not to have any more bat boys for the remainder of the World Series in 2015. Now, these are truly horrific ways to die, and let me know your thoughts on these deaths in the comment section down below. Now, the illustration that I decided to do for the video today, as I said at the beginning of this video, is just absolutely rubbish, and there's so many flaws in this piece. There's some elements I do like, but the bit where the so-called bit of bridge is squashing the person to represent that side of things looks like a goddamn desk. So yeah, like I said, this is all I could come up with. I hate this illustration. It's absolute rubbish, and just even the hands that I drew were just absolutely just rubbish. Like this is just a rubbish piece. Like, there is times where I don't have good times drawing, and I like to still put some of the illustrations up because I did truly struggle with this, so it didn't matter what I decided to do for this one. I could not come up with anything decent. This is probably the most decent thing that I could come up with, and I've just put it on the paper and just ran with it. And yeah, I like to be a little bit transparent in that respect. But anyway, that is it from me. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. Dislike it, I really couldn't give two shits what you do, because any interaction that you give me goes towards the algorithm for other people to find me. Hopefully you watch whatever is left of this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.